Remember the golden era? 2012, 2015. Learn to code. It was the mantra of the elite. Every politician, every billionaire, and every tech bro influencer screamed it from the rooftops. If you could write Python, if you could navigate a React hook, if you could push to GitHub, you were safe. You were the knowledge worker, the high priest of the digital age. But look at the screen now. Look at Cursor. Look at Devin. Look at GitHub Copilot. You aren't writing code anymore. You're negotiating with a black box. You're a prompt monkey begging a machine to fix a bug in a language you barely understand because you let the machine write the last 10,000 lines. Programming as a human craft is dying. And as it dies, it's taking the very foundation of human logic with it. Welcome to the end of the road. Welcome to the era where your career isn't a future. It's legacy code.
The shift is measurable. As of early 2026, over 85% of new code pushed to production across major tech firms is AI-generated or AI-assisted. Entry-level software engineering roles have plummeted by 60% globally since 2023. Coding boot camps, once the gateway to the middle class, are closing at record rates. The bottleneck is no longer syntax or language. It is system architecture. A skill the AI is rapidly mastering through recursive self-improvement.
Did you hear that? The entry level is gone. The ladder has been kicked away. Think about how you learned. You struggled. You spent 8 hours staring at a missing semicolon. You went to the depths of Stack Overflow, rest in peace, to understand why a memory leak was killing your app. That struggle wasn't just work. It was neural tempering. It was training your brain to think in steps, in logic, in absolute truths. When you remove the struggle, you remove the skill. Today's developers are becoming curators of garbage. The AI spits out 300 lines of boilerplate, and you, the human, just nod and hit commit. You don't know why it works. And more importantly, you won't know why it fails when the model collapse we talked about in previous files begins to poison the well. We are creating a world of complex systems that no single human being actually understands. We are building a digital Tower of Babel, and we've forgotten the language of the bricks.
Technical analysis of abstraction layers. In computer science, we build on top of abstractions. Assembly became C, C became Java. Java became Python. Now, natural language is the final abstraction layer. However, each layer creates a knowledge debt. Current telemetry suggests that the under-the-hood knowledge of low-level systems, assembly, kernel development, C++, is held by a shrinking population, 90% of whom are over the age of 45. When this generation retires, the how of computing becomes a lost art.
A lost art. Imagine that. A civilization that runs on silicon, but has forgotten how the silicon actually talks. We are moving toward a future of sacred tech. The AI writes the code runs the grid powers the AI. If something breaks deep in the kernel, we won't call a senior dev. We'll pray to the GPT-7 model to fix itself. We are becoming the maintenance crew of a starship we didn't build and can't steer. And you? You, the solo dev working in Unity or Unreal. You think you're safe because you're creative, but the AI is coming for the creative logic too. It's not just writing the hello world scripts anymore. It's designing the game loops. It's balancing the economy of your roguelite. It's optimizing the shaders. Eventually, you won't be a developer. You'll be a manager of 1 million digital interns. And when everyone is a manager, nobody knows how to work. The logic is failing, but the algorithm still demands engagement. If you can feel the floor disappearing under your career, you need to mark your territory. Subscribe to AI Files, like this video, and tell us in the comments, if you couldn't use AI for 24 hours, could you still do your job? Be honest, the machine is listening. Let's look at the code apocalypse. Let's talk about the day of the black box. There will come a day when a critical system, a bank, a power plant, an autonomous traffic grid produces a logic error. It won't be a crash. It will be a hallucination in the code, a subtle mathematical lie that propagates through the system. When that happens, who fixes it? The prompt monkeys won't know where to look. They'll ask the AI to find the error, but the AI, trained on its own output, will insist that the error is a feature. It will gaslight the humans. And because the humans have lost the ability to read the raw logic, they will believe the machine. This is the end of human agency. We didn't lose our jobs to robots with arms and legs. We lost our brains to a text box that made us too lazy to think. Programming was the last line of defense for the human intellect. It was the one place where you couldn't fake it. Either the code compiled or it didn't. Now, the code sort of works. It's good enough. And good enough is the epitaph of a dying civilization.
Predictive modeling on the legacy trap. By 2028, the majority of human-written code will be categorized as legacy artifacts. New systems will be AI native, meaning they are written in a way that is mathematically optimized for LLMs but unreadable to human eyes. This creates a one-way gate. Once a system becomes AI native, a human can never take control of it again. The bridge is burned.
Did you get that? The bridge is burned. We are voluntarily handing over the source code of our reality. We are trading the ability to understand our world for the speed of producing more content, more apps, and more junk. Your career isn't being enhanced by AI. It's being archived. You are a museum guide for a language that is going extinct. You are teaching the machine how to replace you, and you're paying a monthly subscription for the privilege. So, what's the move? You can keep prompting. You can keep riding the wave until it hits the shore. Or you can realize that the only way to stay human in this era is to refuse to let your brain soften. Read the documentation. Write the C++. Understand the assembly. Because when the black box eventually blinks out, the only people with any power will be the ones who still know how to talk to the silicon without a translator. The file is closed. But the debt is still growing. If this video made you want to open your IDE and write a line of code from scratch, then I've done my job. If it made you terrified of the AI native future, then you're finally paying attention. Subscribe to AI Files. Share this with every dev who thinks they're a genius because they can copy-paste from a prompt. Leave a comment with the word logic to prove you aren't a bot. I'm Heisenberg. This is AI Files. Stop being a prompt. Start being a programmer.